Welcome back, Screamers, to another episode of Scream Kings. I am TaMon Kane, and I'm here with one of my favorite people in the world, Langston, Johnny Blaze. How you doing?
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Amazing. And tonight we are here impromptu to have a quick chat about a little bit of tea that was dropped today, a trailer, if you call it, for the new I Know What You Did Last Summer. I'm excited to get into this trailer and just discuss where we're going quickly into this franchise. What we know so far, this movie is produced by Neil H. Moritz, directed by Jennifer Kaylin Robinson, and the screenplay was by Sam Lansky and also Jennifer. It stars Madeline Klein, Chase Two Wonders, Jonah Hal King, and Tyreek Withers, Sarah Pidgeon, Bill Campbell, and returning back to us, Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Pitts Jr. And from what we see, we see Sarah Michelle Gellar will never leave us in this franchise. Germ is in the comments. Hey, Germ, thank you for coming and hanging out with us.
Hey, buddy.
To kick this off, we're going to play a little game called Blood and Banter. Blood and Banter reached out to us, and we've been hanging out and kicking it, and they sent us this game. It's just pretty cool. And Johnny, this is all for you.
Oh, okay.
Get ready. It's just a quick question. Question number one. No, I don't like that one. Name someone you love to watch horror movies with and why.
Oh, my sister. My sister, and if not my sister, my mom, because they're talking to the TV like they can hear them. And I love it because sometimes it's with movies, which is so ironic, and I'm not making this up. We actually just watched I Know What You Did Last Summer, and then I Still Know back to back. And them having a conversation with Carla was just, they're like, right. Just all this kind of like back and forth. I just thought it was so funny. So it just makes the movie experience, especially when you've seen a movie already, it makes it feel fresh again. It's funny.
Hey, Kira. I see you said you watched the first two, but I think if I can remember correctly, is it a third version of this movie, or am I hallucinating?
Something like that.
I'll always know or something. I don't know. Who knows?
Some straight to Redbox thing they came up with or something. I actually believe it was before Redbox. So
I don't know. No one has any facts that this movie exists, and we don't have to talk about it ever. I rumor. Germ said he's super excited about this. Everything from the kills, the new weapon, the homage to other characters, and the new cast is gorgeous. Okay.
I totally agree. I second that.
Kira said that there's a TV show as well. Didn't enjoy it. Awful. God awful. Real bad. They didn't. The only thing that was decent was the pilot and then the finale. But other than that, the show was trash. But let's jump into this trailer. We're gonna do a viewing of the trailer. I've only seen it, I don't know, maybe 3 times. But let's jump into this trailer and see what we see.
All right.
All righty, let's go.
Baby, you okay? Why don't you go upstairs and do that guided meditation you like?
Thank you, baby.
Find a peaceful setting and close your eyes. Imagine a white light calling you.
Hello?
Now, feel that love entering your body and emanating out from your chest. Take a deep breath in and remember the energy you give to the universe always comes back to you.
Do you think this is some kind of karma for what we did? What if someone saw what happened?
You need to handle this. This isn't the first time there's been violence like this in Southport. It's not going to stop.
I need to start drinking. Someone is coming after us. I need your help. I just have one question. What did you do last summer?
This place is so beautiful, it makes me want to die.
Love it. Love it. Love it all over again.
You know, sure.
What you feeling? What you feeling?
I am feeling that. Okay, this time watching it, I got like the nostalgia feeling. Yeah, I got all the great feels.
Yeah.
Let's see. Double Feature Podcast, thanks for hanging out. They said, love this trailer, saw it early, just right amount. I agree. This was the right amount to show us.
Yes.
It's been a while. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yes, for sure.
Come through, Freddie Prince.
Hey,
it was great.
I'll lead the way because I got some talking points, but I have some things to say about that too.
Oh, don't be rude. Everybody.
No. Good things.
Okay, good. Listen,
yeah.
Helen has been in every one of these sequels. So
yeah,
it may have been a photo form, but you can't keep her down.
Yeah.
I agree. We don't need any more trailers. We just
no more. Yeah, I know they're gonna do it. I know they're gonna do it, but we don't anymore. Especially with how short of a time frame we really have when you think about it.
Are they divorced? I'm gonna go.
Gotta be.
Thank you. I'm gonna go with
there's no way in hell that Julie lives in Southport.
That's not Southport University.
No way.
Let's get into the opening of this trailer where we get to meet two characters, Madeline Klein, and allegedly her name is Danica. And we get to meet her and her, I guess her boyfriend or partner, played by Nicholas Alexander Chavez. And so we get this cool opening sequence of whatever's going on. She's overworked, overstressed, and she needs to go take a shower. I loved how the guided meditation really sort of guided us.
Oh my God.
The more part of this story, what they're dealing with about how energy comes back. I thought that was super cool.
That was so smart. Whoever thought of that.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
They look good.
Absolutely.
Superficially, we know that one of the biggest parts of the first movie was these characters were hot.
Yeah.
The main characters had to be hot. That's part of the makeup of this story. Mm-hmm. And I think so far they're doing a hell of a good job.
They look great.
Yeah, they look great.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It was a great metaphor. But if they have enough time, Kira, this is not about them. This, I don't even know if they'll even see each other. Oh, they do. We saw.
Well, they do. Yeah, they definitely do. They'll go into it some sort of way. I feel like. Yeah,
I wonder if they're gonna make it out.
But I love the what do you call those bombs that she put in the water?
Bath bombs.
Love that, by the way. Yeah. Such a great little, you know what I mean? Like that was just very smart to do.
It was giving blood, but we know it's not blood.
Yeah, and then like obviously like we want to see the horror movie tropes, but we want to see them done in smart ways.
Yeah.
So like that bomb combined with the headphones, obviously she can't hear anything. Like all of that just made sense for like everything that's happening downstairs. Yeah. So I loved all of that energy.
Kira said, "I don't wear headphones in my home. I need to hear all the time footsteps, breathing, sliding doors, screaming." I mean, I get it, but I probably would have had my music turned up. But when you do guided meditation, it's not loud. The person's just speaking. There may be some soft music in the background, but But the point is,
so it just made sense. I felt like
it did because you're supposed to zone out, in out.
Yeah.
This is exciting. This is making me more excited talking about it now.
Mm-hmm.
And so then we get into the full breakdown of everything. I think I should just like play it and pause it, so we can sort of get some
context.
Yeah, more context because I don't remember everything that happened. Okay.
I feel like I do.
You will. Well, if you remember everything that happened in this trailer, please tell us what happened next.
What was after that? So then they start to go into like this committee sort of like room of like, that was the biggest thing about Southport that always irritated me. It almost kind of reminded me of that personality of Derry, where it's like everyone's kind of oblivious to what's going on. I'm like, I need people to sort of like feel like they care. And now we finally get the perspective of what looks like anyway, of like the town's perspective of like, okay, what's going on and how can we prevent these issues? And then walks in your boy Freddie. You know what I mean? And your boy's coming in like he's ready to act.
Yeah, he is. He popped in like, I got the answers, I got the solutions. Listen to me. I know what's going on.
And it also, sometimes when you bring characters back to their town, I don't think that Ray ever left.
No.
Like even in part two, he was very married to Southport the way Dewey's married to Woodsboro. So it makes sense that he would still be there after all this time.
Yeah, because him and Julie didn't just pull up. He's there. He's
there.
He's definitely there. Let me see.
Do you think this is some kind of karma for what we did?
What if someone saw what happened?
Karma for what we did.
Here are our main players.
Right.
So what are they giving to you? Like, what is this cast is given?
This is the generation of fresh faces. So we do know that. I've seen someone on Twitter say today the poster needs to give 96 and 98. And I was like, well, the reason why they can't do that is because this is not that era anymore of like the star power of the 20-something-year-olds. We don't really have that today. So it's like when you do have a movie that has a bigger sort of like popularity than the cast, you want to show those main features that are going to want to drive audiences back, because I don't know any of these people. I'm interested in what their career is going to entail, but they're not coming out swinging like Jennifer and Ryan and Freddie and Sarah. You know what I mean? So it's like you can't. Them on a movie poster is not going to have the same impact.
True, because we're not going to be like, oh my God,
who are they?
Buffy or you know, Cruel and that's not what it's given. It's given the fisherman. You said it perfectly. The IP is bigger than these stars, and the IP is not even that huge. But I'm familiar with a few of them. Madeline Klein, I'm familiar with, and Chase Who Wonders, I'm familiar with her as well. And the only reason I'm familiar with Tyreek Withers is because he's in the new Jordan Peele produced film.
Me too.
Him. But Chase Who Wonders, I know her from this TV show she was on, and she's from Bodies.
See, I've seen that and I didn't even recognize her.
Yikes.
Yeah.
She was in this TV show called Generations on HBO Max. I think it lasted 1 or 2 seasons, but it was really good, really, really good. And she was great in that. So I've seen her play different type of characters from Generations to Bodies. And from my knowledge, she is the lead of this film. That's
what she gives off, at least.
Yeah. She's not in this. Oh, she's in the far left. She's in the far left.
Right.
Of this deal. So she is allegedly the lead of this. Oh no. Hated Bodies. So that's probably why I didn't recognize her. Oh.
I did not love Bodies. The ending kind of irritated me.
I actually thought it was fun.
Because the ending felt kind of episodic to me.
The whole thing felt episodic.
It did. Yeah, it just didn't feel like this is what I was waiting for to find out that happened. You know? Yeah.
Kira, you said that. Let's see if she gives Final Girl energy or not.
Right.
I mean, we'll see. Let's.
She kind of feels like a Helen reincarnation, and like let's let that type of person be the lead instead of like a Julie.
She's a Julie.
She don't give me Julie energy.
The one in the beginning is Helen, Madeline Klein.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, you're talking about her.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Helen. That's Helen for sure.
Yeah, she gives me Helen energy.
She's gonna be the one giving us all the things we've been waiting for.
Right.
This one. But Chase Who Wonders, she's the Julie of this.
Okay.
She's the one on the left here.
Right. I think, what's so interesting? It feels like they're switching it. Like letting a Helen type be, it gives that to me. I mean, especially even showing her in that opening, which you obviously need to establish probably the trailer, but it kind of gives like they're reversing something or something like that. I don't know.
Big shoes to fill with Helen, baby. Sarah Michelle Gellar is another lane. Absolutely. So
Absolutely. For
absolutely.
sure. Oh, we're
Kira,
not. Yeah, no one's debating that.
that even not for. So she has to. Danica, if that's your name, you have to come. Good name, by the way. But you have to come in here swinging. All right, let's play a little bit more, and then we'll pause and chat.
What if someone saw what happened?
She's driving the car. She's in the back crying like Julie.
Right.
Helen, a baddie.
You need to handle this. This isn't the first time.
I want to say that I'm not sure when this happens in the movie. It's given second act. And just because certain people are not in certain scenes doesn't mean that they're dead or anything. I feel like Danica will make it pretty far. I don't know if she'll live or not. But let's talk about good old Ray.
Good old Ray.
Good old Ray. Still in Southport. I hope you own the fish dock, please.
Please. It's been 20 years.
Orders. It's been 20 years, Ray. Enough. Let's see.
What are we feeling about Ray and Freddie?
I mean, I'm excited. We have some pictures of this moment too. I'm excited to see Freddie. I mean, you can't do this without the two of them. Even if their role is this big, which it is, it's not even.
It's gonna fill it out.
He's gonna do great in the moments that he's in it, and I hope that Julie and Ray have a moment.
Me too.
To rekindle who they were as people, and maybe get a little chase. You know, I don't need them to die, but if they did, you know, cool.
Right. We'll see.
This is interesting. Ray is at the top of my suspect list.
Interesting.
You know, Mike Flanagan had a version of this that he pitched for a third sequel where Ray was going to be potentially one of the killers, but it was really dark. It had to do with abortion and things of that nature, and reasons that you want to kill somebody for sure.
Right.
If Ray ends up being the killer, they ate that, and that's all. If it makes sense,
which is so crazy because that's who they thought was a killer in the first one. Which
is cool. Which, I mean, he's a great red herring. Do it again, Billy Blue.
He's so damn tall, though.
Yeah. Ain't nobody measuring the fisherman height when they're running.
I did have a little criticism. I did not like the "I Know What You Did Last Summer" letter font.
In the poster?
No, in the
car.
I hated that. That was so irritating to me. I'm like, what? Did he go to Staples?
It's different handwriting. What did you want?
It looks like he went to Staples and got it professionally done.
Period. Or with a quail pen. So whoever this is, it must be a female. Ain't that something? That's crazy. And I think it is anyway, but it's probably Danica.
Interesting.
I see.
Interesting.
Right, let's keep going.
You need to handle this. This isn't the first time there's been violence like this in Southport. It's not going to stop.
Okay, so we're revamping
Julie's dream sequence.
It looks like a little bit of Barry too.
And Barry, I mean, they give the same energy.
Barry in the shower?
Yeah, it's giving both of those.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, Kira, I love a good car. Okay, me too. Okay, cool. So it is definitely giving Barry and Julie's dream, which is a nice callback, subtle. It doesn't say I still know, it says you're next.
Right.
It's a great movie. And based off this fisherman, they are using all his equipment that he have.
I love that, by the way.
I thank you for departing just from the hook. You're the fisherman. You have spear guns. You have all the things. Yeah. So hopefully he'll set some traps, some nets. Hopefully it gets real fun.
Mm-hmm.
And still is. And still is. He needs to be in this movie too. I don't know how.
Oh my gosh, does he not need? He needs to be in this movie.
Yes, at least have a niece or something.
Something.
I need to start.
I love that, by the way.
They said she's the comedic relief in this too.
I love it. It's so natural though. Sometimes you feel kind of like, okay, this is just they just threw this in. Like I feel invested to her
already. And guess what's going to happen? You know what's going to happen now that we like her already.
They better not.
They're gonna take her from us.
They better not. I think they're gonna subvert expectations with that.
And kill the lead. The lead is probably the murderer.
Yes. Yep. It was.
Yeah, it was soon. Yeah, it was soon. Yeah, she's gonna be fun, and we know she gets a little chase. We've seen the trailer. Let's keep going.
Drinking. Someone is coming after us.
Ooh.
Now I'm curious about that scene. This right here.
It's giving. The killer posed my body.
Yeah, I almost wish it wasn't here.
Where is this? The church?
I don't know, but it's definitely IDing someone. It could be a red herring scene.
It's giving that person is dead, and whatever reason they can't move.
But it looks like they're holding their hands up, like don't shoot me.
I think they're holding like their neck or something. I don't know. But yeah, I agree. It is giving setup. It's not the real deal.
You don't think so?
This is the most police officers we've seen in Southport. Congratulations.
Hell yes. That's a good point, by the way.
Okay, because when Barry got missing, didn't nobody care?
A damn thing. Blood cleaned up and everything.
Yeah, the killer is pulling stunts. So that's a little bit of what was interesting about the TV show is they did some smart things, like with the twins and with the with playing with certain plot points. But the point is, it had nothing to do with the story you were telling. Right. So it didn't even matter. This is intentional, and if he's trying to, I don't know, make someone else look like they're the killer, or if this person is actually dead and posed in a certain way, that could be something. Whatever it is, I'm enjoying it, and I think
me too.
Spicy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, agreed.
Is coming after us.
Now, it's giving either the fisherman is falling down or one of their friends is getting ready to drop in front of them.
Yeah, but it's interesting that they look like they're wearing the fisherman's clothes.
I don't know if the fisherman would have no buckle on their boots like that.
Oh, is that what I'm seeing?
That's like a little silver buckle. And the two characters, that girl behind Sue, we'll call her New Julie. That's who everybody thought was Ray's daughter, which we're not saying is not true.
We don't know. Yeah, we don't know.
Which is interesting if their daughter is not the main character.
Right.
I actually think that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
The comments are weird. They're crazy. But you said, "Bitch, who is this?" We don't know who it is, but they look like girl shoes.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
I'm thinking it's the girl with the tattoos at the end of the trailer. We'll get.
I was about to ask about her. I was going to say the same thing.
I'm telling you, we're not going to have a lot of people by the end of this movie. I feel like they're going to be chopping these friends up just enough to make a sequel that's interesting.
Yeah.
With familiar people, and we know you only need 2.
Right. If they don't
they can change it and bring over 4 if they want.
Don't spin it back over to Julie.
I mean, that's what.
Because that is a really interesting possibility to kind of let this one be the gap between I Still Know, and then let's go back to a storyline that focuses on Jennifer's character.
Well, more of the survivors of this incident, which could be Julie and Ray and 2 new people.
Right.
And now we got our 4. You know, they like to stay in 4s, even though this time they have a bigger cast, but I get why. It's not the 90s, and we want to see more people killed.
Yeah.
Let's keep going.
I need your help.
All right. Now, that was Julie and Helen in their moments.
Okay, I was trying to figure out who that was. Okay.
That was the new Julie, and I heard
she looked different right there.
Yeah, her ability to emote with her face is great. Like her eyes look filled, like whatever's been going on is she's had enough of it.
Yeah.
And Danica was in her moment. She had on white. It makes me nervous. Yeah, everyone's saying she looks different. Let's go back.
Yeah, she did. She looked very different.
This is our girl from Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. This is the girl from that show, and she looks great, honestly.
No, she's great. Yeah, I love the emotion in her face.
Whatever's happening, she's over it.
She's in it.
She's in it, and what's funny enough is there were some pictures that leaked of her with like a very short hairstyle. And so I was having this conversation with a friend of mine. I was like, well, I want to know how they look post and pre incident, right? Because that's what matters. And so this is obviously post incident, unless we get a Helen Shivers haircut moment. And that could be why. I don't have the photo anymore, and I don't know if I should even show it. But I saw that, and if that's a thing, I think that'd be really cool.
That could be dope. Yeah,
that could be dope. However they may do it. Girl didn't recognize her only up from only up from here, right?
She just has that familiar face, though.
She does. Good. She actually
don't
has
remember
a great
what it's
leading
from.
lady face.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love the tears that are welling up in her eyes. Like those are the moments that I want.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
Now it's time to see the queen of this franchise.
Your help.
Well, wait, hold on. Oh, baby, Danica, is this it?
Yeah.
Is this her moment?
Like her death moment?
Is this? I'm gonna call her Helen Shivers regardless. Is this her Helen Shivers moment? Did she get multiple effects?
I don't think so.
Okay. Her scream was good too, so I'm happy about that.
I paid attention to that.
The face, she has it.
Yeah, she's already sold me. Might be her death moment. Said it might be her death moment. I don't know.
Listen, if she's if she's Sarah, then they're making us like her already, and I don't feel safe.
Yeah, I don't know this writer, so I don't know what they're. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's two writers, and so the first writer, Jennifer, I believe, she is the one who did Do Revenge on Netflix with Camila Mendez, who was supposed to be Sue Wong's character, but she dropped out. She was the new Julie, from Riverdale. She was actually the lead character, the new Julie, and I was extremely excited then. But all the fresh faces made me nervous, but that's not fair.
Yeah,
it gives Tina from Nightmare. Which Nightmare? Because if it's the remake, she should have been the lead. All right, let's keep it moving. Ow.
You can't never keep a bad bitch down.
Can't keep.
Y'all thought a bitch was dead?
No. You know what I saw this when I thought
crawl on that floor? Absolutely not. We always knew that Julie wasn't dead.
Yeah.
It took 20 years, but we knew she wasn't dead.
Yeah. You know what I thought about when I saw this?
What?
When she turned around, I was like, it's all about the hair. She
right.
It's just all about the hair.
And knowing that Jennifer is relevant right now, obviously because she's on 911.
Yeah.
I love that she does not look like that character. Like from these are two different. I don't even feel that she's that person. I think her name is Maddie.
Yeah.
This and that don't look like the same person at all. And sometimes they don't really play to that. They just kind of let them come as they are.
Yeah.
But I love that she looks how I feel Julie would look right now.
I feel like she intentionally gave herself a nasty makeover for like 30 days. Like she was injecting, working out, doing all the things.
She is Julie right now.
The hair is layered, Cuban on Cuban. That's what Glow said. It looks good, Julie.
I love it.
And I love how she is turning around like, girl,
I am over
it. Was
I've been there, done
said somebody's dead or we killed someone. Whatever she said to stop Julie in her tracks from going to her next class, Julie is already fed up with this.
Right.
And I love that she's coming with that energy because it's been 20 years, girl.
Right.
Let's see what they said in the comments. She's giving client list. She's giving client list.
It does give that. It
final
does give
season of Ghost Whisperers. She's giving all of the things. Come on.
But you know, I want to say something that I want to see if you agree with it, TaMon, that these sort of like reboots, it's almost kind of like all the old fans, we're kind of walking with Julie's POV in a sense where it's like we already know the history there, and it's almost like playing telephone. Like we already know the story and like we already know what she's been through. So like having to bring these new kids along and like introduce a new story is kind of like to get them acquainted with the old fans, like in a way too. You know what I mean?
I mean that's a great way to bridge the old and new generation because we don't need context. We already knew she's over it. Whatever y'all need from me, don't bother me.
Exactly.
I'm not Sidney Prescott, baby. I don't want to be involved in none of this stuff. I don't care. Okay,
Absolutely.
she's trying to live her best life, and she looks like she's an accomplished law professor.
Something.
If you remember, she was going to school for law, so maybe
I didn't know that. I knew that I had looked up where I Still Know What You Did Last Summer initially took place.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew it was Boston, right?
Yeah.
So like I didn't know anything about law because I never caught that.
Yeah, in the first movie when she came back when she looked like a ghost, she came back. She mentioned that she was in school for law.
Oh yeah, I don't remember that. But she looks good though.
She looks absolutely amazing. We're gonna get more to all those things now with the stills that we have. The biggest no, not yet. Let's keep going.
I just have one question.
Danica.
I love this shot, by the way.
Danica, look at you. So
this shot is so textured.
See, I was indecisive all day about this trailer until me and you get together talking about it. And now I'm getting to see some of the richness of this trailer and how even if Jennifer Love Hewitt and Ray wasn't in this would be something that we should be talking about if it's strong enough as a movie. That's better. This is the girl that we're assuming is related to Julie and Ray, and I don't see it.
I don't see it either.
I don't see it. Nope. No.
Yeah, I don't see it.
No.
What did you do last summer?
She's like, yeah, girl.
What did you do?
Skipping everything else you about to talk
about. Because if I help you, I need to know am I possibly involved? Are they gonna come for me? Or is this kind of like an isolated situation where I can give you a little tidbit of advice? And what kind of advice do you think I can give you anyway?
Why are you over here?
This is Gen Z. Y'all do things a different way.
The real question is, how do you know to come find me?
Right.
Where's Ray?
That's actually another good talking point too.
Yeah. Some things in the beginning. Oh, Germ. Yes, agreed. Honestly, yeah.
Because think about it. The only reason to me, and I don't want to I'm not spoiling anything because I don't know. But the only reason it would make sense to me that she would be talking to her is if she is the killer. Because it's like, well, let me do everything that you're saying so I can subvert, like, you know what I mean? Like what's going to actually could potentially happen, you know?
I think that's
a kind of plan and plot that way.
That's a very interesting concept. And I think that the new Julie has the range for a killer reveal monologue. And I think that is a strong possibility. There are twists and turns that are not in the original movie that we will get the experience in this one. Even though I'm mad about it's a car wreck, right? Okay, I am upset about that. But the setup of leading up to that is what's great. And we'll get into that. Because that is spoiler territory. So I want to give people a chance to leave before I go into any of that. Kira, where's Meek? You need to learn to give people grace. You know what I'm talking about, babes. Yeah. All right, let's keep going. Okay, I do too. That is what made our 90s slasher so good. These girls came in here and they could slay a scene.
Yeah.
Okay, Sarah Michelle Gellar can get into any horror movie and slay a scene. And sidebar, she's starring in the new Ready or Not with.
I heard.
We'll talk offline about that, baby.
Yeah. It's going up this year.
It's giving. It's gonna give. Yeah.
Yeah.
This place is so beautiful. It makes me want to die.
Good, just enough.
Just enough. And we saw Danica in a black sweater being chased by the fisherman in the last snap, which is not the same white cardigan she had on her other attack. So we just answered our question.
Right.
And we saw that other girl, I don't know her name, and I want to be shady. Let me actually, her name is Gabrietta. She's not an actress. Tradition. She's a model. Yeah.
Okay.
Gabrietta.
You know what I also found interesting? I didn't recognize Nicholas Alexander. And he's that guy in the opening.
Yeah.
He looks completely. I don't know if he was wearing some sort of prosthetics on his face when he was in the Menendez brothers, because I didn't even recognize him.
Yeah. It's a lot of characters, so I don't really know everyone's role.
Okay, maybe that wasn't him then.
Wait, no, because there were two people added recently to the cast, and whoever that was Austin Nichols, who you saw. Austin
Nichols, that wasn't Nicholas Alexander.
No, he's a main character.
I was about to be like, that didn't look anything like him to me.
Oh, I'm sorry. The opening is Jonah Howard King. Okay,
gotcha. So he's the
but he's also in the car wreck scene.
Okay.
So I thought Danica. Okay, so this is what I understand about this film is that there's an engagement party.
Mm-hmm. Right, I heard that.
Yeah, in this engagement party, I thought it may be two girl couples, which would be Julie and Helen, which would be different. But I think it is. Let's pull up some photos. Let's get to it. We're gonna skip. Okay, so Danica is in white. Well, let's say New Helen is in white.
Mm-hmm.
We have New Julie. We have maybe Ray's family member, and the two guys. Athlete, I'm sure this is buried to the end.
Yeah, is that Tyreek?
Yeah, Tyreek. I'm sure that's Barry. I don't think this guy to the left was. You know what? I can't take this. I have to get facts. Hold on. We got to see who it is. We need to know. The world wants to know.
You okay?
Oh, bro.
What?
Peep the cardigan. That's the same cardigan she had on when she was doing her attack.
Oh, okay.
Hairstyle looks the same as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You okay?
Stretch that out a little bit.
Why don't you go upstairs?
Okay, now we see who this is. This is the actor. His name is Jonah Howard King. Okay,
I'm about to say, because that didn't look like Nicholas Alexander to me.
No. This is Jonah Howard King, and I'm trying to see if he's in the wreck sequence. We're gonna check and see who's in this car.
Stairs and
but look,
that
I don't
meditation,
know
right?
Thank you.
We're gonna skip.
And Eminem.
Good shot. That's actually great.
Yeah, that was amazing. For a
And if
movie
he
that's
doesn't
coming
die-
out in July, that looks great. Yeah, he's not in there. Is that him in the back?
I don't know if that's him or no. That's not him. That is. Hold on. Let me get the facts. Hold on.
Oh no, that's the other dude. He kind of looks like the prince from Little Mermaid.
Yikes. Why can't I tell if that's him or not?
I don't think that's him. It could be.
It's him. Yeah.
It is him.
Yeah, he's in the car. So it's two guys. We have Barry and Ray.
Well, that would make sense because if he's being killed in the house, then
yeah,
it would have to relate to this.
Okay, the people in the comments are trying to help us. I don't think that's him. Because somebody look up the cast list. If you don't think that's him, help us. We're trying to figure this out. We don't know. And it's bothering me real bad.
One thing I'm also hoping that they do is keep the tradition of the false death endings.
Yeah.
I want them to keep that. That seems to be like the tradition of I Know What You Did Last Summer. So I hope they kind of keep that going. And like maybe even do it with Julie.
You mean like the dream sequence?
The whole dream sequence, not telling us if this is a dream or not, but if we know there's another one coming that they
can't remove that. You can't remove that. That's like taking the opening sequence from Scream. That's part of this franchise.
It is. No, it totally is.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay, we got some answers in the comments. Kira said Jonah Howard King.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is the opening. So are you, Kira, are you saying Jonah Howard King is the opening and he's in this car? The fisherman got me. Sorry.
Oh, I was like, what happened? I looked up and just saw me.
It happened. Chase scene begins. Okay, Kira said Joey Howard King is in the car, but that's not him in the opening.
Okay.
Ooh, my eyes are wearing on me. So if that's not him, that must be.
I don't know at this point.
Austin Nichols is too old. This is the fisherman. I already know who that is, but I won't show y'all. Austin Nichols. It could be Austin Nichols.
It could be. It didn't look like him though either.
It doesn't like him either. Okay, so we'll figure it out. For all the people in the comments, he does matter. That's not the actual opening. That is obviously after the incident.
Right. Yeah.
But I'm thinking
We mean opening for the trailer.
Yeah, opening for. Oh yeah, true. I'm thinking there is a what is it called? An engagement party, and I assume that some tea is released, and people are mad, and whoever dies probably is the actual groom. I would assume, and that's who dies. Mm-hmm. But remember, the original had a twist where we thought that they killed not Billy Blue, but the boy. But Ben Willis actually killed him, and they hit Ben Willis. I think we're going to get that, but like a triplicate version of that, something that's going to really be different. Austin Nichols is beginning looks like Austin Nichols. It doesn't look like him. I mean, they're both very handsome, and oh, this picture could look like him. This is wearing me out. That's what you get for casting all the white guys who look alike. But I guess, but yeah, and then whatever happens, they leave. I'm gonna pull the pictures back up. Oh, hold on one second. Yeah, I'm gonna bring the pictures back up so we can get that. All right, so these are our main players. We have Barry, Helen, Julie, and Ray, and someone else in this car. I find it interesting that Danica is driving.
Me too. I was thinking that too.
For her having on this white dress, I couldn't imagine that her fiance would have on what Barry to the left has on. Mm-hmm.
If you notice, also everyone. Okay, this is after whatever they've done.
Yeah.
Okay. And I noticed one of them looking back too at the cops. So they've already arrived at this point.
It feels like they're re-arriving.
And it looks like too, if you look at the way that the metal ramp was bent, this is not going to be the same scenario where they can hide it. No. Yeah.
This is giving maybe they ran somebody off the road accidentally. So imagine, we get some bad tea at the engagement party. I drive off, and then I'm so upset I almost hit someone else, but they drive off the road.
Right.
So we just see 1, 2. Yeah, it's only 5 of them. And so these other characters, I wonder if the new Helen's boyfriend that's being killed in the beginning is her new boyfriend, and maybe she didn't get married. Maybe they didn't go through with it.
Because they're probably going to do the structure of the 1 year later thing too.
Of course.
Yeah. Unless this killer is just kind of like, let's just get the ball rolling.
No, the title implies that they have to do that. So
yeah,
that's definitely going to be a thing. But what we know is engagement party goes wrong and they kill someone, I assume, who actually already killed someone. And what if someone's in the trunk? What if they're coming from, the twist is going to be cool. Whatever the twist is, I'm looking forward to seeing it.
I wonder, this is the interesting thing about this. Now we're in franchise territory, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if I know what you did last summer, and I still have built enough where you need to do any callbacks to those originals.
What kind of callbacks?
anything that would kind of like feel like what Scream did with 5 and like all those sort of like I don't think we have a big enough franchise that is created that type of nostalgia for us. I think Freddie and Jennifer are nostalgia for the series enough.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to be any sort of like, you know what I mean? Like Easter eggs to what they've already done.
I think there's enough Easter eggs that we're going to receive in this movie for us to enjoy it enough.
Obviously, like this theme on the mirror and like stuff.
Going
like
to Helen's grave is actually enough. You know what I'm saying? Why are we there is the question. I assume that's when Julie returns to Southport, and her and Ray may go to the grave.
I honestly feel like this girl, she sought Julie out in some sort of way. I don't think Julie's at Southport at all.
She's not, but she has to return.
It just don't seem realistic to me.
She's gonna. I don't know how she's gonna be involved in this, but I hope they don't do going into this. Right, I was thinking they're gonna do the whole Scream 5, kill Ray, bring Julie, but I hope the writers are smart enough to know that there's other ways to get her involved in this moment, this situation. She's not gonna come to Southport for no bullshit. It would have to be like Ray dead. But it could honestly be Ray doing the Dewey thing, showing them the grave of Helen, or him. They were friends too.
I think that's what it is because like we talked about previously, Julie and Sidney Prescott are very different people.
Absolutely.
Julie's more so, in blunt terms, Julie's what we want white girls to do in these movies. She kind of has learned her lesson, and she's like, "Why would I come back?"
She's like, "This never happened."
Like they're gonna have to dig her up, literally, almost to like find her.
Remember, the writer said this early on. Imagine Julie James in the world of TikTok and Twitter and social media. So she may actually monetize her experience.
She could have, for sure.
Especially if she's a professor. We don't know what she's teaching. I assume law, but she could literally have monetized this thing to make a better life for herself, or can you really ever disappear? Yeah. Can people ever really not be aware of what you did last summer? That is a cool question to ask in a time of social media.
And I think we also have to realize too that we have a different type of killer than the other villains that we know of, like past eras. Like, I think they call him. Do they call him the Slicker when they don't say Ben Willis? I think it's like the Slicker.
The fisherman.
The fisherman.
He wore a slicker.
I think in the script it says the Slicker or something like that. Something.
He wears a slicker, so it probably does say that.
Yeah. So like, I don't understand why this type of killer would need to go after Julie unless she's in the way.
Yeah. Unless.
And then Ray, mind you too, Ray hasn't really had a lot of interactions with the killer. Only thing you can really count is the last sequence of the last movie. So it still would be.
He has not had anything to do with anything. He's always been strategically misplaced throughout all these years. Right. And remember, technically, this is the third one. And the third movie always goes back to the original. So there are things I believe that we will find out, and why Ray and Julie will be pursued by the killer. And if Ray is that reason, and if Ray is one of these killers, they are going to eat us up, if it makes sense. If Ray, after all these years, turns out, let's look at it this way. Let's say that he lost his wife. He stayed in this town. He looks sort of sober. He didn't seem like he was like Dewey, which I hope they do completely opposite thing of what
it feels like they're following the Scream 5 territory.
I know.
I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, Julie looks bad. It's been 20 years. The whole Gail Dewey thing. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, I don't know. I will say that's actually one thing I don't think. I don't think we're walking. It could be, and I can see why, because that's the only way that you build a conversation. But even in the still that I saw, it almost looks like they accidentally bumped into each other. Like, I didn't necessarily want to see you, but I'm gonna speak.
It's like, I'm here. That's how I know that she comes to Southport, because he's not leaving. Right. But what we do know about Ray is if Julie is ever in danger, he will move heaven and earth for her.
For sure.
I said he wouldn't leave, but we don't know. Let's get to the comments, because people they have ideas. Yes, Ray and Julie are enough, and the picture of Helen. Agreed. The biggest nostalgia that they need to give us, and a lot of, is chase scenes. These movies are known for having spectacular chase scenes. It's been 20 years and we are still fighting over Helen Shiver's chase scene. Period.
Right.
So, you know, this movie has to fulfill us in that way. If it doesn't, it's automatically a fail, like the TV show. No chase. How dare you? Let's see. Julie has moved on and they track her down somehow. I wonder how they get her back.
That's what I feel. I agree with you on that.
I hope it's not Ray. Just be more original than killing him to bring her back.
I mean, it's so interesting too, because like even in seeing Mindy's, obviously to me, what feels iconic, her reboot conversation in Scream 5.
Yeah,
like everyone has like, we're literally following that method. It almost feels like to it, even in the title, like still calling it I Know What You Did Last Summer. Like we're literally following the exact same method that this era is giving us. It's just kind of like keeping the legacy, letting the new people sort of run the show. And now the only thing about this franchise that's so different is that it can go so many different directions with how we know things to sort of like go. I feel like Scream is a little bit more like we kind of understand what could possibly happen. But this one, this killer doesn't have much of we don't have a personality attached to it.
Which I love, actually.
You know?
It's like Jason, it's just nothing.
And which is kind of ironic because the killer in Scream changes every time. And then we're walking into a territory where this killer may change every movie. If they're going to continue this, because we know this has not been Willis.
No, we know it's not. But it could be a relative. What I think is possible, you said something really special. Let's stay in that Mindy conversation moment. And Sam was like, who do you think the killer is? She said, you.
Yeah.
The new Julie is getting more and more suspicious every time.
For sure.
Every time I think about it. And if we're going with Recro logic, is she's the one looking for help? Is she's the one? Yeah, that would be interesting.
Because if you did it, why not go to someone that you know has been through it? Mm-hmm. Like, how can I get myself out of this? Like, I'm gonna look at any scenario that I can, even out of desperation, to sort of figure out, okay, this person made these mistakes. I'm gonna do everything that they didn't do.
Yeah. To
make sure I don't put myself in a similar situation.
But why are you coming to me, little girl? I don't know what you're talking about. I've never killed anybody.
But Mindy also said that there's always like a relation too.
And so it will be cool if, and they're talking about in the comments too, it'll be cool if the lead is not Ray and Julie's daughter, and it is this girl, and she is just a background player. And if she ends up being the killer, I mean, it's just so many. I don't want a child in this because it's so Scream 5, but it's such a smart way for this franchise to come back. Hold on, let's see. Think has to be a character that links both this. Yeah. Yes, Julie needs a good reason to come back. She's over it, and she is.
Yeah, they sought her out for sure.
Yeah, and she looks bothered too. So, like, what do you need? Yes, I don't think the new killer would be after them. Yeah. Agreed, unless they are in the way. Maybe they will be connected somehow. I think so. Ray still working on a boat at sea? Absolutely not. Exactly.
If you really want to gag the audience, though, TaMon, what they need to do is conclude however this story happens at the end and give us that Julie signature ending.
With who, though?
With Jennifer's character.
I do think that if this new story and we have new survivors and old survivors and Jennifer has that ending, implying that the next one is her forward, like with Scream 7, I think it's going to be good. I think it's smart to give her movie.
Smart decision.
And then jump back around to something else.
And then give us Carla, because I don't think Carla.
Get out of my head, bro. There's no way. We're going to talk about that. We got to. No, that's next. We'll talk about that next week. Yes, looks like cardio will need to be on point for baby.
Right.
And I know what y'all say, Double Feature Podcast. If it's cardio involved, you're out of it.
Is there any way, by the way, that Tyreek is Carla's son? Is that a possibility? Or do we already know who his parents are?
We do not.
Okay.
That's real sickening, though.
We don't know very much about Carla.
I can tell you what I do know, that I think if what you said happens, that Julie ends, that will make the most sense for Carla to come in full capacity in a sequel, because that's where she thrives. She's in the sequel. Let her come back in the sequel. Now, a FaceTime call, she's probably going to get more than a photo, but a FaceTime call, or a voice, that is probably what we're going to get from Brandy. And it's going to be probably that conversation is what's going to help Julie decide how she's going to participate.
Yeah. It's going to be also interesting to see what they continue to name these movies.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because I mean,
really.
Scream has continued just to use numbers, but like, are they going to do another I Still Know? Or is it going to be like I Know What You Did Last Summer too? Like, I wonder how they're going to evolve that.
I think we can do whatever we want. We can we can call it I Know. We can call it Last Summer. We can call it I'll Always Know.
I'm curious about how they're going to do that though.
Depending on how many we have. Like if if this does well, I can tell you we're getting more already.
It's gonna do well. It is definitely gonna do well.
We're in a season of slashers. It's the summertime. It's perfect.
Yeah.
So, it's not gonna be Sinners money, but it's gonna do very well.
It's gonna do well. Yeah.
And we're gonna get more. And
if we get the marketing that Scream 5 got with seeing them on all the interviews and like it's gonna have that sort of feeling.
Well, they're running too late. I mean, we're almost there.
I know, but it's so crazy though. Like the attention span is so short. I feel like even the marketing is catering to a younger audience.
I'm disappointed. 64 days is is the window that you need for promoting a film, especially one with nostalgia pull like this. And it's a hot, fun slasher, which is the summertime. Yeah. But I can get why it could feel too soon. But
I'm excited. I mean, this made me excited, like, because I didn't know what it was going to look like. Yeah. And now that I have some sort of like, reference to it now, I'm like.
Is that Danica again on the right in this card again?
It doesn't look like it.
It doesn't look like her, but if that is her, that's the same card again.
I mean, it only makes sense to establish the characters as on a frame. So it's got to be her.
Yeah, it's her.
Yeah.
This is the main group.
Yeah.
And so we're thinking that this girl in the middle who doesn't feel like Julie and Ray's daughter, but if that's her, a relative of theirs, that would be interesting. The cardigan is its own character. And when this comes out and we do our family review, then we're going to bring up this cardigan. And everyone needs to have this same cardigan on.
That's hilarious.
Exactly. Like I asked this question because all of us are saying Black Twitter's like, if Brandy's not in it, we don't want it. The question is, if she's in it, what do you want? Do you want a call? Do you want to, if she doesn't have
it does have to make sense.
Yeah. She can't have a story arc. Look at these characters. Ray and Julie barely have a story arc.
I mean, now like I said with Tyreek, he's her way in.
I don't know if they're going to do that. I mean, that means she's married a white man, which is normal, and they do that all the time. So it's possible. He does seem biracial. I can see that. But why is he always next to Danica? Every time I see him, he's with Danica. Remember, he was in the front seat.
It must. I'm thinking that this gives me relationship sort of drama.
Barry and Helen.
Tied to the motive though.
Yeah. Can we look at his shirt, right? Look at his outfit, right? Look at his shirt and imagine this without the cardigan and look at her hair. All right, let's do that. No, I see it's a white dress. Never mind. Why are you in this shirt?
The same shirt. Well,
they're slightly different.
Yeah, it could be the next day or something though. I don't know.
Time jump. I can't remember how fast the time jump happens, but we don't have we have a precedence, but we don't know if they're going to do exactly the same.
Right. Exactly.
They know what to do. They know exactly what to do.
Right. And then also too, though, I mean, they could kind of do the same sort of like things because you have to realize you're dealing with a lot of people that may not necessarily be familiar with those two movies. So it's like a juggling act of trying to cater to people that know the franchise, and then obviously a fresh audience that has no idea, you know, that
Yeah.
this is such a nostalgia thing for other people who are familiar with it.
And so it's what I do appreciate. Kira, I agree. Which that's what I'm saying. That is actually smart to give it that Scream feel. I mean, let's say, I mean, in the 90s, Scream set the precedent then. So might as well keep it moving.
Right. I mean, didn't Kevin write the first one?
I feel so bad for not knowing this. My answer is
I think he wrote the first I Know What You Did Last Summer. I mean, it's Kevin Williamson dialogue.
He did. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, the dialogue gave that away.
I'm so sorry, Kevin. I feel so bad for that. So, Kevin, if you see this, I apologize. You're so sweet.
This is hilarious. People, I think it was Germs saying, why would you put Helen next to this bitch?
Because they family. But who is this little one, though? Who is that little one?
I think that's just
that's too close. No, ma'am. Move this grave. Whose is this?
I don't think that has anything to do with them.
Alex 3.0. Hey.
Yeah.
Yes, Kevin Williamson. Yeah, he wrote it for sure. And you're right. It is nobody writes ensembles like Kevin Williamson.
But that, overly smart wordplay that he uses, like, it's there. So
you want to have a dance? Yeah, with that fine, sexy guy over there, Scream 2,
right?
That kind of thing. Ewoks, they blow. Oh, the little.
Hell no! It better not be Barry. They better not have
out of it.
Now, like you said, though, that would be an interesting thing to bring Julie back. Is that maybe she does visit Helen's grave every year?
Oh God, it's a day trip, baby. It's a day trip. I'm out.
But would she do it? Obviously,
her mom is still alive.
She's heard about what's happened.
If her mom is still alive, it's potential that she would come back to this place.
Yeah.
To see her mom and to, of course, stop by and see Helen.
Right.
And a lot of people forget, I mean, maybe because we don't have a full franchise, right? But Helen is to Julie as Tatum is to Sydney. It's always going to be like, I'm surprised. Julie, if she had a daughter, her name should be Helen. It's just like, it's just the thing. And people sometimes forget they are, even though they had that gap in the year and they just sort of fell apart, but they were friends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the only thing about this franchise that you almost kind of have to reboot it because they've had so much. That would be like if Scream 2 did this and we're just now getting Scream 3. You know what I mean? You almost have to tell the story. 5. Yeah.
Which will actually work, but Scream 2 to Scream 5 is a huge time. So you need this new cast because we know Sydney and we know Ray and Julie, but child, it's been 20 years.
Right. I think the thing that also works for this series, though, is that it's already kind of based off of an urban legend. So now Julie and Ray's story is like an urban legend.
That is fact. The Fisherman is now urban legend. So do we need a reason to put on the slicker? No, because our town already has a boogeyman. So we'll just dress up as our town's boogeyman. That's exactly one thing. I think it's important to recognize the town hall meeting and what that means for this town. Like, we didn't have any of that the last time. The last time it happened so damn fast, we didn't have time to wrap around. But this is happening over a period where people are bodies are being dropped. If the town hall is meeting, bodies are being dropped.
Right.
A lot of more than normal. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that I don't know if we can look at that town hall scene and see who's present to figure out who's alive.
Probably not. I wouldn't be surprised if the killer's there.
At the town hall?
Just participating.
As a town member?
Yeah.
That's my type of messy. I like that. I like that. remember who's in the town hall now. The new Julie is there.
Yeah.
She's there. The new Julie's at the town hall meeting. And what better way to orchestrate things than being in the middle of all of it?
Right. And I feel like also too, like in horror, they kind of I feel like they wait until it hasn't been done for a while. But I haven't seen a horror movie in a while where the main character ends up being the killer. Mm-hmm. So I could see them doing something like that because that hasn't been done in a little while. It's obviously something that we know happens in the history of horror movies.
Of course.
But we haven't seen it in a little while, so they could possibly take advantage of that.
They wanted it so badly for Sam to.
I think they really wanted to tease us with that, like taunting a cat with like something. You know what I mean?
True,
I don't think
get
they
that. Yeah,
ever were going to commit to it. But with someone like this, who we are not attached to yet, I can see them taking advantage of that moment where now we can detach because we know what she's capable of.
Okay, Alex is speaking some good stuff. But hold on, Alex, hold that thought. I'm looking at this picture again, and those are dress slacks. And so if that's her old fiance, a blazer could easily have been taken off if we were in. Same for him over here. A jacket could have easily been on top of that, which makes her white dress makes more sense in this moment.
Right. What's this green? Is this a green dress?
It's a green mini dress, yeah. And this baby here is in jeans and a jacket.
And this could be like the after wedding looks. You know, rich people be taking off clothes and putting.
It's not the wedding; it's an engagement party.
Right. That too. Oh yeah, that's right.
So we don't know that. I doubt they get married. But remember, these two have been coupled in every still that we've seen, except for the opening of the trailer where she has a new man, which all makes sense.
Right.
All right, Alex hit us with something good. He said the town doesn't know about the original cover-up, just that there was a psycho fisherman named Ben Willis. Remember, in the end of the original, both Ray and Julie denied why Ben wanted them dead, and in the second one. And so that bit of tea is actually a part of the reason what brings them into this, because I think that tea is known to some.
Yeah, but see, now this is another thing that makes me think about. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, we've already had one incident with Julie and Ray. Okay, this is isolated. Another one. Now, this means that we're going to have to dive in. What were y'all involved in that we don't know about? So there's got to be some sort of story that has maybe even made Julie want to hide more, because now they know that she was way more involved than it just being an isolated situation. This happened twice.
But she wouldn't be a professor if she was, if her reputation was stained.
Well, I mean, like in the sense of even driving someone like a killer or like a victim to find her, to sort of like want to get those answers, because obviously it's been in the media for years, you know?
Yeah. This is a good point. Yeah. So do Ray and Julie finally make the cover public? I don't think they make it public. I could actually see, I don't know the laws of statute of limitation. However, I could see Ray turning himself in.
Something. I don't know. Something though. You know, they can't not address that. And I did read something that said that they do include I Still Know What You Did Last Summer in this franchise.
What you probably read was the writer saying that it was a huge debate in the writing room about including I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. Let's do a huge debate in the writing room about this, including I Know and I Still Know, like a big thing. And so the only thing that really matters is I Still Know is the brandy of the matter. And so, but the writer said, if we include I Still Know, Julie would never trust anybody ever again based off what happened. I mean, the first movie's enough. So, I mean, even though the guy that was crushing on her ended up being the one that was trying to kill her in the second one, you know.
Yeah. I don't like I kind of like them taking more. It's really two paths that, okay, let's just keep it a buck, right? Scream 5 and Halloween 2018 have kind of set a standard.
That's the
I feel like
for
this franchise, they're probably going to follow more the Scream 5 teachings of like, this is kind of how we're operating, even though both have kind of led the way for like a new sort of era of films. Yeah. It feels like they're kind of taking bits and pieces, obviously, from both.
Yeah. You know? If we introduce a child into this, then we have the answer to a lot of things.
That's almost inevitable.
I feel like it is inevitable, and they just won't tell us. I think they should keep that till we watch it. Just don't let us know. I wouldn't
be surprised if this movie has a mid-credit or end-credit scene.
It's gonna have both. I feel like it's gonna have both. And I actually think you nailed it with that Julie thing. I think it's nice. Like we're saying with Scream 5 was the new cast and O's cast. Scream 6 was really the new cast, and now for whatever reason we're jumping back to Sydney. That formula still works. Have this movie here focusing with the new cast and like make us love them, and then kill a lot of them, and then whatever outcomes or fallout that happens for the tea that's revealed about Julie and Ray, circle right back to that in the second one. and bring in Carla for that one. And then the third one, if we get that far, end it. Hold on, the comments are doing some. Oh, hey Corey. They both have deep-rooted secrets in the film. Will unearth. I agree. If Anne Heche was still with us, yeah, R.I.P.
Man,
I'm sure Missy would be a part of the story too. I 1000% agree
that would have been great.
Yeah, but remember the Ben Willis had children and a wife. We learned that.
Yeah, but they've already killed all of them.
He killed his kids, right?
Well, you remember Ben was helping him in number 2.
Yeah, so Ben is dead. But what about the daughter?
I don't think there was another daughter.
Yes, there is. Well, who's the other one? How did she?
The daughter is the one that died, and I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Oh, the one that the boy killed, and that's why he killed him. That's right.
So that was the end of that.
Oh, new cast will bring back the old cast. The next story will follow. Okay, I love that. I think that's smart. You'll keep us interested. We want to see Julie and Ray. We just don't know yet if we really want to see them until we see them back in their old roles again. We're going to be like, absolutely. We want to see Jennifer Love Hewitt and Ray if he survives. They're not going to kill her. And I say that because she had a no-kill contract. Is that a spoiler to say?
Who?
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
I think everybody knows that.
Okay, she had a no-kill clause in her contract. I can imagine that she would change that. And I wouldn't come back 20 years later to be murdered. So
I mean, and the way that they handle it in these franchises when they do those things, it's always been bad.
Yeah.
You know, even if you want to include Jamie Lee Curtis with that resurrection, like that, like what? And then like even the way they Sally's character in Texas Chainsaw, like why? What are we doing?
What about Dewey?
I just feel like that was. As a horror fan, I don't know how no one saw that coming.
We all knew it.
I don't know how you don't see that coming.
I mean, honestly, you can't hire us as objective writers and we can't, you know how you and I are.
Yeah.
We cannot be in this writing room and say, we got Gail, Sydney, and Dewey alive. And this is the 5th one, 20 years later.
And they still about to live?
Me and you go look at each other like, bro, we got to do it.
Yeah, and you know, I have to also give Sydney's character. I guess I can't give her as much grace because she did come back to do the book signing in 4. Julie wouldn't have did that.
Julie would have never came back to Southport.
I don't think she would have. Now, granted though, it has been 10 years, so maybe she didn't feel like. Well, okay, this does make sense because the whole Sydney story arc in her mind is over, and she's already dealt with everyone that she needs to deal with in that storyline. Why would she suspect that anyone would come back for her again in 4? So I guess that kind of makes sense to that point.
Yeah, if Roman was the big bad, what are we talking about?
What are we thinking is going to happen again? You know?
Yeah.
So
and just so happened Gail is there and Dewey is the sheriff. So I feel safe.
Right.
Until we're not. Alex said Ben Willis will have an intelligent child who struggles with being a killer. I don't know if Ben Willis will have an illegitimate child. I don't know if that's
it might start getting a little convoluted at that point if you do that.
Yeah, I do think the connection, the through line is Willis, though. I do think there will be something, even if it's not about I'm his relative.
Yeah,
y'all did something fucked up and got away with it. That is what's gonna piss these killers off.
Now, mind you. Your boy from Halloween that played Michael, his name is Jude something.
Who played Michael Myers?
Yeah. What's his name?
In the new one in 2018.
Yeah. Well, whoever that guy is, I don't think his name. Okay, so Ben Willis' name is Muse Watson. He's about 76 right now. No.
I don't think he's coming. Did you watch the TV show Revenge? All right. Two characters just got added to the cast. The opening guy and this guy named Billy Campbell. And Billy Campbell is the fisherman. Spoiler alert. I don't know this for a fact. Okay?
Well, no, I was just saying to bring back Julie's story arc. I don't see the actual Ben Willis coming back.
No, it's not about him coming back. He's dead. They murdered him. It's about what they did, the sins of the past coming back to haunt them. That's
So you think Ben Willis is dead?
Yes, I do. And if he's not dead, if he is organizing all this, that is sickening. But if
that would be because you have to think about it. Like the only thing about I Still Know What You Did Last Summer is a little messy at the end is that I Know What You Did Last Summer and it felt like a dream. Like I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. It never felt like a dream sequence to me. So it's going to be interesting to find out if they even address if Ben Willis is dead or not.
They have to. And guess
they
what?
Gotta do it.
If I was Julie and Ray, there's no way possible that I wouldn't confirm that. There's nothing in me that would allow me to not know that. It's impossible.
Yeah, that would be. I gotta know, and even aside from obviously the core horror of it all, I gotta know what happened between Julie and Ray.
They're gonna give us all of that.
Just give me something.
See, you understand. Absolutely, at all costs.
I mean, I'm sorry, y'all. Over Dewey and Gale. I mean, it was gonna be Dewey, y'all.
It's not. Look at the next one. No matter how our fellow peers say, killing off Dewey in Scream 5 was objectively the right choice. Yes,
it was.
He is the one.
It raised the stakes.
Did it really? Because in the next movie, nobody died.
Well, I mean, on a writing standpoint, I felt like that was a possibility. I thought that they were going to commit to it with Mason's character. Because that looked, I mean, my boy looked like he was dead.
Mason is the new Dewey forever.
My boy looked like he was dead. So
he was dead a few times. But they're not going to let him go. They're not.
Eventually.
When he's older, when it's time to.
I don't think it's gonna be because you got to think about we're in a new world now, TaMon. They're not gonna do these 3 and 4 or 5 years later. Like they're gonna keep as long as these keep making money the way they have been.
Yeah,
your boy may be nipped in the bud in this one.
I shall not tell a lie. I don't know.
I'm just saying
that would hurt my feelings if he left.
The ending I still know was a dream.
Of course.
Well, those are two different statements in a way, right?
Well, no, I mean, he's just confirming, like, yes, Ben Willis is, he's assuming that the ending of I Still Know What You Did Last Summer is what you're using as evidence to say that he could potentially be alive. And he's saying that dream don't mean shit. He's dead. And he wasn't saying that, but that's what he's.
Yeah. I got you, Alex.
Yeah, we know that's part of the thing of this franchise is the dream sequence. And don't give it to Julie's mental health is always been up for question. And she seems sane and empowered and focused in her life. She don't want to be bothered.
Right.
She shouldn't have been taken out with all those stabble. Oh, he should have. Baby, plot armor is thick. What's our last picture? We have another close-up shot of Julie, who's giving like I'm mother, and what she is of this franchise. I like the blonde.
I do like it.
I hope she's giving us a mixture of her.
I love this texture of how they filmed this too. The color grading.
I love it too.
It is very Scream 5, but like a little bit more consistent though. Yeah,
it looks tighter
through and through.
It looks like current horror popcorn slashers.
Because if you notice Jenna's opening scene in Scream 5, that color grading is not.
It felt overly color graded. It felt overly color graded.
Yeah, this feels consistent all the way through.
It actually looks better.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
Woo!
Now you know what this is reminding me of. It's something about it's giving me urban legend.
Listen. This looks like urban legends to me.
Yeah.
I thought about this a few seconds ago. This looks like it, and I love this blonde highlight, Julie. Hopefully, that's a shout out to Helen. Mm-hmm. But it's a new slicker too. It's a new jacket. It's a new. He looks good.
Because remember in the two previous films, we could see Ben Willis's chin to his cheeks. We don't see anything. we don't see nothing.
Absolutely terrifying.
Yeah. It makes you wonder, is he going to be a walker? Is he going to be a runner and a walker?
We saw him walking in the trailer.
Yeah, also Julie giving an urban legend at what appears to be at a university. That's what we were saying, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
So we know she's a teacher, or she could be giving a speech. You know, we don't know what she's doing there.
That's true. That's actually a really good
conversation in Scream 3 at a college campus. We don't know what she's doing. I'm going to still go with college professor because that's what I've heard. But whatever it is, she looks absolutely stunning.
She looks great.
Yeah, they did great with her styling, her hair. It's all about the hair, Julie. Never forget it. Alex said the new Fisherman Slicker reminds me of the Parker, and it does.
Okay, so we're all on the same page.
Yeah,
I love that.
It's just no fur. It's just missing fur. That jacket looks good though.
What I was particularly just talking that the fact that we can't see any facial features or nothing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I think it's because also too, it makes you wonder, how are they trying to reintroduce this franchise? Because we didn't necessarily it didn't need to be hitting who the killer was. And I Know What You Did Last Summer, the first film. No, we knew it was a man that was likely associated with that death. So it was probably that guy that they hit. Now this person, they're hiding it for a reason.
You know why they're hiding it.
You know what I'm saying? But it's more in that Scream sort of like instance of like, it's going to be a different person every time if they continue to do this.
So the comments are already on board with why they're hiding it. So the killer could be a Fisher woman. I'm thinking female. I'm actually thinking more than one.
It's possible.
I think that's what we do in a sequel.
It's possible.
We do more than one killer. We had more than one in I Still Know, even though he never put on the robe. He just was moving behind the scenes. But in this one, I feel like we're not going to know until the end, until it's time for the killer monologues. But it's giving female and male for sure.
This is if you think about it too, TaMon, this is a very unique franchise.
Yeah.
Because for a whole new generation, it's almost going to feel like the first movie.
And I love that.
You know what I mean?
For us too, though. For us too.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, not for you and people like you and me. I feel like it's gonna feel like a more continuation. For fresh eyes, it's gonna make them want to go back, and then like, I don't know. I feel like this one for people who don't go back, they have they don't necessarily have to.
But what I think is beautiful about this, you don't have to go back to the original.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
it's gonna feel fresh to us in that regards.
Right.
You're getting a new story, new character. Right. And I know we're all excited for Julie and Ray, but I'm going to give you guys this tea now. It's not that. Don't expect them to be.
I think they know that.
I'm just telling our peers right now. Like, yeah, it's not even going to give Dewey and Gail in Scream 5. It's not that. It probably will be Sydney in Scream 5.
It's probably going to be actually Sydney in Scream 3.
Yeah, that's what it's giving.
Yeah, because I think Sydney's runtime in 5 is longer than 3, or they could be the same.
Sydney's still have more screen time than
she's only in Scream 3 for 15 minutes.
Yeah, so they're not going to get that. They're not getting that. Yeah, don't expect to see them in a chase scene together. Don't expect to see them.
I think. You
may see Julie come with the gun and shoot somebody. Okay, you may get that, but you're not, and Ray protect her, but you're not going to get a full arc of them. Right. I think what we get is going to be enough to satisfy us and enough to hold us over till we see them again.
Yeah.
All right.
This franchise, and this is another big difference in the Scream franchise and this one. The first film in that I Know What You Did Last Summer, friend, is what kind of holds the nostalgia. Like 2 doesn't really have that. You know what I mean?
What doesn't have that?
Like the way that we know that paying homage, you would see all of that in this film as it links to the first one.
Of course.
I don't think you're gonna get any of what feels like 2, besides maybe reintroducing Carla, or like, I don't know what else. I mean, let's say they mentioned the Bahamas, or like, something like that.
Oh, agreed. I mean, remember what I said. it was a fight.
That's another reason why I'm saying that. Yeah.
There was a fight to even have I Still Know included. And we know they won that battle, which lets us know that Carla will have some role or some type of thing in this. I'm going to drop the trailer into the comments for those who have not seen it yet. Yeah, I just dropped that there. Ray seems really pressed about what's going on.
I mean, why would he not though?
But if your shit was a secret, you doing what you're doing now, because that's true. Never mind. Because Southport knows him as a survivor of those murders in the past.
Right.
They know him as that alone, right? And so he's coming to town hall to remind y'all listen to me. I know this is not the first time murders like this has happened, but he wouldn't just come out after one murder.
Well, and the thing about it is too. So if we know what we know about I Still Know, right?
Yeah.
This would be a huge story. You know what I mean? Like it being as big as it was in the Bahamas, and like that means now you're getting international sort of recognition about a crime that happened with two people. Obviously, we're probably gonna see like H2O vibes of that opening with the news clippings and like all that sort of thing, because at this point these two people were in two different incidents. Like they're gonna have to address that.
Well, they know that the second incident is based off of the first one, right? That's what if we know objectively, like what was in the news is that this guy tried to kill them for a second time because his identity is not hidden. Remember, they couldn't find his body. It washed up. It didn't wash up or anything. So they know Ben Willis tried to kill them twice. So they are the experts on this. And they are residents of Southport and this murder. So if we know an urban legend and the two survivors of this urban legend, we need to figure out this information. That means that we need to jump and get some help. So that could be how they find Julie. I think they're going to go deeper and make it bigger than that. But like, I'm just saying, like, we don't need much to go look for help if we know that Googling a Google search, if we can find the survivors of the Southport murders. So a Google search can find.
I don't think this reboot is going to subvert anything that Mindy hasn't said. Like, I think if anything, they're going to follow suit with like those tropes. Like, obviously, we know we're getting a little bit of legacy people. We're getting new people. It's obviously a lot more elaborate than the first movie. I feel like the death scenes in 2 were pretty elaborate.
I thought they were all silly. So
I mean, silly, elaborate, kind of can be in the same vein with horror movies.
Sure. But yes, Alex 3.0, yes.
Mekhi Phifer's death was a little ridiculous.
Oh, I actually thought that was one of the best ones.
But like, I mean, him hooking that's just not realistic.
He dropped down from the stove is crazy.
But it was great though. It was great.
Oh yeah, I screamed. I remember that.
Yeah, that shocked me.
Okay. I think we have talked about this trailer. I think that we can leave here tonight knowing that next week when we discuss this trilogy, we can now talk in the fullness of this franchise.
Oh yeah.
So we tipped into a lot of great things. So I know next week's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
For everyone who's watching, tune in tomorrow as Scream Kings and the Scream Queens do a Sinners review for you. And next week, Johnny Blaze will return with other guests for us to talk about I Know What You Did Last Summer franchise. Johnny, do you have any final thoughts? And let them know where they can find you.
Guys, you can find me on Twitter right now at John Blaze. I am looking forward to seeing like how horror is going to impact the like movie theater like experience this year. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I am so happy that Sarah Michelle Gellar, Jennifer Love Hewitt, and Neve Campbell are getting this like resurgence in their like horror movie parts of their career that we obviously some of us have grown up on. So it's just really exciting for all of us 90s kids to sort of like relive that a little bit. Like it really feels like we're getting like a renaissance in that. You know what I mean? So it's exciting for us in a way that I feel like we're going to connect with the younger audience, that they're getting something new that we're already attached to. So I'm excited.
Double Feature Podcast said the OG girlies are letting them know.
For sure.
Yes, and we saw that Sarah is joining Ready or Not. It says starring in Ready or Not. It didn't.
That's crazy.
Yeah, with Samara Weaving and Catherine Newton, and that sounds like a nasty family by itself.
There's some. I know it's going to be funny and gory and all that. So.
And she dies like no other, so don't be shocked if she doesn't make it out. Thank you for coining that. A 90s renaissance is on the way, y'all. Sydney is in the helm of her franchise.
I mean, Kevin Williamson's writing again. Like,
he's writing again. He's directing for the second time in his career again. We are back for those who love 80s, 90s slashers. I just hope that our movies, I Know, Scream, and Ready or Not with our girlies are going to be fantastic. Radio Silence did a great job, so I'm sure we're going to get some good stuff. I'm TaMon Kane, or The Real Gail Weathers. You can always find me here on Scream Kings, Scream Queens, and Geeking Out. And I will see you tomorrow and scream you later.
Bye, guys.